All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Nerf, Surf, and Turf. This game is turning out to be very, very interesting. This is going to be the detailed cast where I'm going to be zooming in and observing a lot of strategy and troop movement. Again, this will be delayed enough to where it will not harm any of the players in the game. So let's just kind of begin in the upper left-hand corner and move our way counterclockwise around the map. So the first thing we're going to look at up here is Power of Us and his crew. You can see they made some early moves against the AI characters up here and captured, I guess, from Denmark, these two territories. So a lot of territory gathered there, against those AI. That can be a dangerous play because a lot of troops are being used in the backfield. So 18 over here, another 13 over here, so 30 troops in the backfield. Now, he is moving that 18 down, but that's a long, long road to walk. I will say this, huge troop buildup down here from northern United States. However, they're not attacking, and I don't know if that's a good idea because with so much of Greenland going to attack into Iceland here, and so much of North Canada going into attacking the AI over here, an early two-country strike, which it's just set up so perfectly because central United States is right here and adjacent, and northern United States is right here and adjacent, and together they've got a lot of firepower. Now, they also stopped, paused, and are dealing with the AI here. So we're going to have to think about this moving forward. If we do any more of these big 30-player games with all subs, we might have to think about that. Sometimes if you can team up 2-to-1 and you see somebody is attacking the AI, it might be better to go all in against the player character and then get the AI later. I don't know. I'm just kind of watching as this develops. There was just an early game preponderance of troops here. Even if you look right now what's going on here, let's just kind of briefly look. We have 76, 86, 96, 116, 126, 136, 140, 150, 160. So like 160 just in this region from the northern and central United States, whereas it looks to me like the defenders, there was just only 38 here. And then it does look like some ran up here, but I just don't see how they could have survived against an onslaught here from northern United States. Now, as time goes on, you can see more troops are racing down to defend from northern Canada. You see another 18er coming down over here. Soon enough, this will be finished over here, the last of the AI in this region, Newfoundland. Not the last. We noticed there was also some in Central America is attacking, and I believe South USA is attacking as well. Yep, looks like they might just lose that battle. But anyway, interesting stuff going on here. At some point, the Northern New World and the Southern New World went adversarial with each other, and I don't know. I feel like that's a mistake. They're natural allies. If they can have a unified front, then they just really, potentially could put a hurting on the fragmented Mideast and Europe and Northern Europe over here. So I don't know. It's just not meant to be, though. They are at odds with each other, so that's going to be interesting moving forward. Let's come on down here, continue on down around here, and take a look at what's happening over here. So we have Oli, Sweet Salt, and Ayal, and they are sort of dealing with some provocation, really, from from Benaya over here. So Benaya is running in troops real close, and this, I just know this from knowing Benaya. He's really doing his best to get East Algeria to attack him. He wants to goad East Algeria into attacking him. That way he won't have to take that penalty to popularity. He can still stay relatively popular, have a good market, and even have a chance with remaining AI in the game. However, it looks like East Algeria is not taking the bait. Now, remember, I'm in the chats too. I'm kind of looking around in the chats, and I will tell you, East Algeria really, really wants to kick Benaya's ass, really wants to go to war. And what's been happening is Sweet Salt and Oli, I'm just going to say Oli, have been calming him down and telling him not to. So that is the right move. What he's doing now is he's going to start moving over onto Benaya's land in sort of a tit for tat thing. Um, frankly, Benaya said it best. As soon as this team here takes over the last of the AI, then they're sitting on an AI territory advantage, and they can really start shifting their troops east. They don't really have to worry about to the north there. They have this nice water barrier here and a fort in that province. So really, they can concentrate on the east. Now, the same thing is more or less true of Benaya's coalition over here. That is 3 territory or 3 countries that are also, they really have nowhere to go but west. So there is a natural war brewing down here. So we move on as we go counterclockwise around the map. We move on over to Arabia. Arabia looks like he's just sort of kind of holding strong, got scouts in the water. I haven't seen a lot of motion from this particular team here that wraps around all the way over into Greece. We did see that the accidental cars that were created over here are headed. You can see they are headed all the way over to the no-no zone. The no-no zone is down here in the corner where those troops are to remain for the entirety of the rest of the game. And if ever 2 of the troops down there end up going to war with each other, then they battle each other in the water, and whoever wins, wins. Whoever dies, dies. It doesn't matter because that is the no-no zone. So props to him. By the way, I had mentioned that maybe Greece was the one that built a car accidentally, but in fact, the Ottomans built 2 cars accidentally. And that's really, I don't need to punish anybody because that's punishment enough. You know, that's a huge waste of iron early in the game. Very unfortunate. I do wish we could scrap units and scrap buildings, but that's just not the way it goes in this game. You know, even for like 20% of your original, you just be able to scrap it. That'd be great. But that's not the way it goes, ladies and gentlemen. So a little bit more stuff going on over here. Let's come back over here. Smitty, Harkold, and Bra have been very quiet this game in terms of making huge waves. They just haven't been making huge waves. I do think they've been corresponding with other teams on the map, probably reaching out to or being reached out to, more likely being reached out to, because there is some celebrity that Papa Smitty carries around. People, and Harkold too, people know that they're good players, so they're probably reaching out. I'm not seeing this because it's not happening on those locked channels that I've been kind of surfing around in on Discord. So it's happening directly between the teams. But I imagine that people are reaching out to this team, trying to get some alliances going. Speaking of which, we do have our noob alliance here in the middle. These poor guys got thrown together at the very last minute. The original team 10 was nowhere to be found, just went completely AFK, disappeared from the channel. And so we brought these guys in, and they're doing a pretty good job. So you'll see here, Great Britain went ahead and took these 4 territories. So there's 2 of these are food. So that's nice. And then this one is an energy. Very important, very necessary. Unfortunately, it's the one energy that Great Britain has a lot of, which is coal. But hey, any energy is good energy. And then over here we have this gas. So a couple good energy tiles there. Now, the danger, of course, is that Britain wasted a lot of troops doing that. And so if France gets ballsy, I don't see why France can't just crash in here. And you can see Germany's here to help defend. But you know, once that's gone, there's nothing in the backfield. So an all-out offensive from France right now could be devastating. But I don't know if that's going to happen. People tend to be cautious in the early game. So we shall see. I mean, there's enough troops here from Italy and France I think, to break through. But who knows? Who knows what's going to happen? You do see that Italy went ahead and captured a couple territories over here. These are recent acquisitions. So good for him. Building resources are very, very important, especially to Italy here. That's probably why he did that. He has, 1 iron, but not a lot of building resources. So he went ahead and captured 2 there. That's a smart move from Italy. Moving on now, we do have the noob team. I think the noob team has done a good job of grabbing some resources. Germany needed that double food. That double food was a good score. You can see he was able to cobble together enough building materials. He also doesn't seem to have, he has 1 iron, 1 wood. Okay, 1 iron, 1 wood. That's not terrible, but it's also not great. And the fact that Sweden went ahead and got the capital and all those resources and morale boost, and this one, that is a to me, that's a little bit of a loss for Germany, especially this one right here. This one represents a beachhead. So if Sweden wants to attack Germany, he doesn't have to land and be attacked, that horrible attack while you're getting out of your boat, while you're disembarking. He can land as many troops as he wants here and just march down the road to attack into Germany. So Germany would have been really well off to try to capture that, but that's just not the way it shook out. And props to Sweden here. I believe that is Hertz, yeah, for grabbing that. That's a great. I mean, the capital alone is great, but then getting that beachhead to mainland Europe is really good. That's something that can come in handy a lot later on. Okay, so let's continue moving on over here. We have our next trio. Our next trio here is so we already talked about, yeah. So I might need to refer to my map here. I have a little map that I shared online as well with on the Discord with everybody, where I finally went ahead and numbered them. So okay, yeah. So here we go. We've got this arc of 3 is who we need to look at next. Team 7. So Team 7, I've said this before. Team I or Team 7 is just surrounded, and so I think they've really been on point with their. There's me and my wife Audrey, on point with their just diplomacy game. I think is just the only way to say it. So here they are. This is Green Thumb, Opara, and Russia over here, and they're just kind of surrounded, but they're playing that sort of border defense with guys in the middle ready to run to the borders to defend. And so they're playing a very defensive game at this point, and they kind of have to. If they were to direct their attention in any direction, right, south, east, west, then whoever is on the other side is going to pounce. So they're playing a good, cautious game right now. And then finally, let's go ahead and zoom in on this last big standoff in the game right here at the capital. And it kind of looks like Finland has backed off a little bit, but he hasn't really. This is 30 guys here, another 30 here. That's 60, 70, 80. And while this is there's not even a fort here. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and say I don't know why Scandinavia is not just trampling this capital. I don't understand it. It should have already happened. And I think maybe the conventional thought here is that we don't want to attack another player this early in the game. But when you have that kind of numerical advantage with no forts, I mean, it's hard to understand what's going on here. So counting the cars as double, that is 45 worth of defense there, 45 infantry worth of defense with 30, 60, 80 infantry worth within striking distance. And really nobody, I guess these guys could come in. One of the things we learned about Russia is these long roads work to their advantage, but that is an awful long road. So, but I'm not going to criticize, because I also saw Raya Force successfully defending Russia using those long roads over and over again. So if you have somebody that can get there in time, which, it'll take a while to wear these down. So there is another 22 and 2 cars that could get there to defend. So maybe I need to take that back. But since there's no fort there, I don't think I need to take that back. Even if they run in all these guys, in which case they are vulnerable now to an attack in through this direction. I don't know. Again, we're here to armchair quarterback this. We're not actually, I'm not actually in the game, so I can criticize and whatnot, but they probably have other thoughts in mind. I know that one of the things that I'm seeing here is this is an attack. I don't know if Germany knows that this is an attack, but it is an attack. I don't know why. I don't know why Sweden would lose the popularity and take a morale hit to attack one floating guy, but he just must not want to be scouted back here. But the thing is, there's nothing to be scouted. There's no large parties gathering. There's no sneak attacks gathering anywhere over here. So I don't know why that attack is happening. It could be kind of like Benaya down there. It could be a provocative thing. They could be hoping to limit. They could be hoping. What the? They could be hoping to lure Germany into an attack out of his forts. Potentially, if he feels outraged and goes ahead and counterattacks, then that could be devastating to Germany. We do see a repositioning here. Looks like a fort is finishing up here. So yeah, 14 will be enough against 20. He could probably even take a couple more out of there and be safe, although there are 30 here, so he better be careful. But again, those 30 have to get in the water and back out before they can do anything. So he's moving down. Looks like 7. Okay, yeah, they're going down to this fort, to this region over here. Again, Britain is very overextended. Part of me just thinks France should just all in. And but, then France will be at war with Britain and Germany. And without a whole lot of support nearby, although Papa Smitty's right here. But Papa Smitty does not have a lot of troops there either. Papa Smitty seems to be a lot of water scouts. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly where Papa Smitty is going. He's got big stacks down here, so I think he feels threatened somewhat by enemies to the south, although that big sea there is quite the defense. So very interesting. I mean, in all fairness, Papa Smitty is surrounded by enemies as well. He's got Greece, he's got Hungary, Austria-Hungary, and then, of course, everything to the south as potential enemies as well. Anyway, exciting gameplay so far, and we haven't even busted out the specialists yet. So as of this point in the game, I need to go ahead and tell you, I believe it's day 3. So day 3 has begun. That means our 2 days of peace are over. We're well into day 3 now. We're about 14 hours into day 3, 13 hours into day 3. And so an attack on another player character is entirely possible, but we're not even close to the point where we're going to have factories. And factories is when that specialty play is really going to kick in. Now, of course, the turf players have their armored cars. That's an early defensive unit you're going to see a lot of with the turf players. But come day 8, when we start building factories, right? Come day 10, when those factories complete, that's when we're going to start seeing some fun units. Now, it'll start slow, obviously. Turf will build some, obviously, artillery. Nerf will build probably a balloon or 2. Just why not? They're not expensive, and they don't use materials that are very dear. And then, of course, Navy will build those cruisers. So look for an explosion of cruisers being built there, right there at day 10. So that'll be fun. Until then, we can see a lot of posturing, a lot of moving, but nobody is committing to an all-out attack, which makes a lot of sense, especially in the dense regions of Europe. If you attack in one direction, you leave yourself vulnerable to the other direction. So lots of cool stuff going on in this game, and it hasn't even begun yet. The true majesty of this game in terms of the specialty play has not even begun yet. And that's in part, I think, because of the fact that we do have a lot of high-level players in this game. It's almost like if you watch an MMA match with 2 really, really accomplished, well-rounded fighters. It's not that smash brawling kind of thing that a lot of people like to see. What you tend to see is like they'll shoot in a little bit, but then or they'll throw a flurry, but then they'll back up. And it's kind of like that here. I think that these players have enough respect for each other, and the fact that there's a lot of talent on this board, on this map, that I think people are being cautious about it, and well, they should. So great stuff so far, guys. I'm glad you're here with us. This is going to be a lot of fun. If you're hearing my voice now, then this game is already at least a week or 2 old, at least old enough to make this cast no longer be of any import strategically to anybody's enemies. So thanks for checking in, guys. As always, it's a lot of fun. I'll see y'all next time. Adios, amigos.